And then as usual, when we kick off, we love to have Joe Dinifer, not just world-renowned coach, but product developer. And I always love this because, for those that don't know, I help on court, off court with marketing and moving some of the products and things. And, to hear Joe share the stories, the backstories about where these products came from, how they've been used and all those things, it's amazing because they really are just innovative, effective, very tangible and practical tools to use to help you become a game changer. And so, Joe, what do we got today? What are you going to be demoing today?
All right, tennis and pickleball, important stuff. Shall we start with the Start Right Grip Trainer?
Sounds good.
Sure. That's one of my personal favorites. I even like that product so much that I just happen to have it in my house. So.
And I got a dozen. So pickleball paddle, tennis racket, grips. Everyone that plays tennis knows grips are a big challenge. Pickleball, less of a challenge. But there's so many tennis players, and I don't know the exact percentage, that have moved on to pickleball, whether it's through the added length of the points or the more social atmosphere because you're closer to people since the court is so much smaller. But grips are also as important as tennis in many ways. You may not have the variables of as much ball rotation. It's about, maybe a third the revolutions per minute that you can put on a tennis ball versus a pickleball. However, because you have less time in a pickleball going from baseline to baseline is about 1 second. Tennis is 2 seconds for approximately like an intermediate to advanced intermediate 4.0 to 4.5 peak person. Playing level, hitting the ball 40, 45 miles per hour. It may seem fast, but so be it, So pickleball may not have as much grip change, but you have less time to do it. That makes sense. Tennis, you got more time, but still 2 seconds is not a lot of time to read the ball, where it's coming, change the grip. Really, you've got to react to the ball by the time the ball is crossing the net to your side of the court. You got to make quick decisions in both activities. So the question is, how do you do these guides? And over years, it was, well, with tennis, anybody that coached tennis or played, sometimes they'd get, had something like they'd put a pencil in your index finger, and depending on which way it's pointing, around, they'd assign a number. People went to pasting numbers on each of the 8 panels, which are on a tennis grip, and pickleball grips have the same 8. And then there's the old shake hands, but you can shake hands so many different ways. Some people do shake hands, they put their hand more on top, some people more on the bottom. So that's not so ideal. And then is any number of grips. To find a grip in the old days, backstory, is we would take duct tape sometimes and just tape a person's hand onto a grip. The most common grip that you can play tennis and pickleball with would be the Continental or hammer grip because it can work on both sides. But for topspin forehands, for example, in tennis, you need a major shift. So let's just see how this works. It's a simple device. There's a gentleman, peer of mine, colleague, named Rod Schroeder, who holds the patent on this and originated it, and he asked us to be his exclusive marketing partner. And what you do is the tab goes between your index finger and your next finger, so your trigger finger. So for example, if I'm going to do, let's put it on this bevel down here. And then we'll talk about how to use 2 of them also, which is a whole nother topic. So if I'm going to put it here on this bevel, it's going to help me get to that Continental grip, for example. And a Continental grip is just like how you did a hammer. And again, it's the only grip that really helps you volley without changing grips when you're closer to the net and have even less time, and for serving, because it allows you to hit spin and so forth, drop shots, defensive lobs, blocking hard serves. Continental grip is by far the most versatile. So we'll concentrate on that for a minute. People have trouble with the Continental grip, and I want to explain why. In tennis, the serve is by far the most frequently hit shot in the game. it is at least 40% of all the swings at the ball, because you have the first and second serves, and the return of serve is in the low 30%. So since points only last the average of 3 shots, right, you can see the serve is the most frequently hit ball. Now, typical and recreational levels, as if anybody's a coach, they know this, and players should recognize this very well. They may learn that there's a Continental, but when they take the racket back, then they shift and then hit this pancake flat kind of ball. And then the second serve they miss is just this poopy ball, because you can't hit any spins holding that semi-Western or Western grip on the serve. So it becomes much more versatile. You can hit spin, which means more arc over the ball. All these benefits. There are numerous articles and videos all over the place on the benefits of the Continental grip. But there's one challenge that a lot of people face, and I'm going to share this now. Emilio Sanchez was a top 10 player on the men's tour. His camp, the Sanchez camps are
The Sanchez Casal Academy. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're in Naples, and also I think Barcelona.
Great people. Yeah, they have a few different locations, and yeah, he's.
Yeah, I should have gone when I was in Barcelona. Didn't even think of it. Okay, Emilio, don't be mad at me. So his daughter was like playing nationals, super talented, but she had a minor flaw on her serve in that she couldn't get enough ball rotation, but she was holding the Continental grip. So what was happening is the heel of her hand, I'll do it on this side, the heel of her hand was sliding. So I still have my finger there, but the heel of the hand still made it difficult. So what we did is we put 2 of these on, and that locked her in. So we found the place where we could put a second one, and it positioned her, and all of a sudden she hit spin like never before. So pretty amazing. You can do it on either side. You just have to play with it. So that's for tennis. And for pickleball, same principle, because when you're at the net for pickleball, honestly, it is just terribly difficult if you think about changing grips, and then you just don't have time. I don't know, Kalindi, if you have anything more to add on that, but it's just easy.
I was gonna I love this training aid, and just from, the feedback and talking with players and coaches, whether it's for tennis or pickleball, like everyone loves it. We actually started promoting it for pickleball based on people buying it and then telling us they were using it for pickleball and really like it. So I was like, okay, sure, we'll put some pictures with, pickleball on the website and do some videos. And as someone that plays tennis and pickleball and has the tennis background, and I was lucky enough to be taught by someone else in this webinar have a Continental grip from the start, and I'm super grateful for that, because I feel so comfortable with chip shots and volleys and drop shots and lobs. But switching to pickleball, it was a bit of an experiment with like what to do with the drive shots, especially on the forehand, because I have a semi-Western tennis forehand, and semi-Western is not really a good grip for pickleball. It doesn't quite work. So experimenting with more of like an Eastern forehand grip, and that's where like something like this can come in, whether you're, and whatever sport you're coming from or not. It's tough learning different grips and getting a feeling for it. Or if you're coaching someone and you're like, okay, yeah, you do this grip, but then they, adjust it back. I mean, I think the favorite thing, on the serve, I feel like, Joe, you always used to say this, is you would have a student start Continental grip when they're serving, and then by the time they finish the motion, they're in a different grip. And it's like, and you tell them, well, don't do that. It's like, well, no kidding. They're not trying to do it, but this helps bridge that, mind body gap to get a feeling for it. And they're little and light and just very easy to use and throw on. I mean, they also work for other racket and paddle sports. I have gotten into platform tennis or paddle as well. It's really popular in the Northeast. It works great for that. It works great for padel. It would probably work well for ping pong too. I'll have to try that. I play ping pong also. So stay tuned.
Might help. Yeah, there might be ways where it helps for golf and for baseball.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.